And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final knockout match. Welcome back to ESL Masters Spring here at DreamHack Dallas. We have been wrapping up the knockout brackets. We have already had a couple of players advancing into the quarterfinals. Hero took down Clem 3-0. Björn took down Hero Marine 3-1 as well. Over on the B stream, I believe they're covering Shin versus Cure, and we have a fresh best of 5 to determine who else makes it into the playoffs. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Post Youth, we have our red Zerg player from the land of Italy representing Team Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Polish Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Na'Vi. It is Spirit. Here we go. Ooh. Again, we just wrapped up our TVT, but I believe Steadfast just wrapped up Spirit versus Estrella. It was a wild series. It was a very intense back and forth between the two players, but Spirit did advance on. Estrella has been eliminated from the tournament, and now it comes down to this. It comes down to one more final qualifying spot here for those playoffs. Reynor opening up with a 15, with a 15 hatchery here on Post Youth. Post Youth, sorry, 15-15, I should say. But Post Youth is an interesting one. Fun fact: we have not casted this map at all this weekend here on the CranKy Ducklings. We've been avoiding this series, but it is great to be here. It is great to be back on Post Youth in this TVZ. Again, one of the big features of this map is the hybrid base you can take as the natural, the goal base as well. You can rush into as a natural or a third, or even a fourth base. Likewise, a lot of bases to be taken in general. A lot of bases that can be expanded to, and we can end up in a bit of a later game as well if Spirit can survive it, if he can survive the aggression of Reynor, depending on how greedy he wants to be. For now, we're settling in. Going to be a Rax expand set up here from Spirit. Likewise, 15-15 opener out of Reynor. With this, we're basically delaying our gases. With this opener from Reynor, slightly faster hatchery, delayed gases from our Zerg, prioritizing, of course, the rich mineral patches here at that natural, and just getting a boosted economy early on. Boosted mineral economy, I should say. The downside is that link speed is going to be a little bit later. The Reaper has arrived, going to be dancing with the workers of Reynor. Doesn't quite get a drone kill. Very nice spore trick there from our Zerg player. Does keep it alive. And we do maintain our 2-base setup as we now look to expand and take a third. Spirit is in position. He is poised, ready to try to deny, but he's going to be backing off, checking the goal base as he rotates around. Third base is now on the way. Behind the Spirit going for a third CC before Starport, so a very economic build as well from our Terran player. And Spirit, he's known for his green. He's known for his more economic approach in general in the TVZ matchup, and is looking to get into the mid game. It's a nice change of pace, to be honest. We've had a very high tense and high octane TVT back to back with Gumiho and Clem, and with Hero Marine and Björn. And now we can just calm things down a little bit. We can ease our way into this TVZ. Also, my apologies. Oh my god, I did actually forget. It's going to be a little bit late, but in the chat, predictions. If you would like, predictions are open in the chat. You can place your bets on how you believe this series will unfold, on who is going to advance on in this best of 5. Best of luck in the chat. Quickly get that going. Reynor and Spirit. Beautiful. Predictions. They are open. Whew. Meanwhile, behind this is going to be 3CC into Banshee play, so Spirit headed into Banshee aggression, Banshee harassment. It's a nice way to play against Roach heavy styles as well. It will keep you safe. We're going to have Hellions on the ground and Banshees in the sky, looking to try to pull these Queens apart and get some economic damage done. Ooh, as we do deny the 4th. The whole base is denied, but only for a moment here, as Reynor is going to retake it. Hellions dipping in, but it could be forced away by the Queens. So far, good positioning here from Reynor with those Queens. And the Overlord Scout will confirm the Banshees. Reynor, he sees the starport, he sees it researching, is fully aware the Banshees are on the way, and spores are in production. We have a Spore in every single mineral line, bar the main. The main is a little bit more exposed. There is potential. As Hellions look for a way in. The Banshee making its way on the left-hand side of the map, making its way towards the natural, but we do have that Spore. We are ready for it. So far, we are ready. And it looks like we're waiting to just bank up an additional Banshee. Waiting for, yeah, that second Banshee to move out. Spirit getting into his bio play, Stim in production, additional Raxes. A 3-1-1 setup, standard setup here from Spirit. Hellions will poke in. Do catch a tumor. And now with those two Banshees, we can actually threaten the mineral lines. Even with a Spore in position, we can pick away at those drones. Get a couple of worker kills. Make this opener worth it. Already one drone goes down. Oh! Almost getting a second. Nice reactions here from Reynor. Does pull away in time. Oh! Again, it takes 2 shots to kill a worker. 1 shot not quite enough. We get 2 drones so far. Ooh, a third drone towards the end. The Queen's dragged back into the main. And on the front lines, we have been cutting corners. Reynor has been droning up quite heavily here. Barely has an army, mainly working with Lings. But he goes for the surround. And he does catch a good chunk of these Hellions. 4 Hellions do fall. Behind this one, 1 is on the way. Bathing Nest is done. Bathing Speed in production as well. Reynor has map control, and Reynor is spreading creep. Honestly, he's looking quite comfortable. We have a 5-base setup. We're joining up to 75, soon to be 80. Creep is spreading. We shut down the Hellions. Spirit is building up towards a push. But Banelings are morphing in just in time. So honestly, a very nice setup here from Reynor. Spirit is moving out. Trying to catch a Queen. Oh, Chance uses our clutch. Keep the Queens alive. Reynor now taking up into an infestation bit. This should be for Hive Tech for Lingbane. Hydro Lurker Viper, I would imagine. We could even just go Lingbane into Ultras instead. We have options. So we catch a Queen. Do barely catch a Queen, threatening a dive into the gold. So far, Spirit not pulling the trigger, just keeping on the edge of creep. Approaching upon the bases. Dropping left-hand side, Spirit going for a split push. And Reynor is just amassing up more Lingbane, ready for the assault. I mean, the creep is receding. Reynor has to respect that. Does have to respect the army. And in the midst of all this, we could attempt a run by. I mean, the SimCity is looking quite brutal. It's we're quite fortified back at home for Spirit. I think his Banshee's back at home as well. Job comes in. We have Lings in position. The base is safe. And Reynor's about to max. He's about to max out on Lingbane. Collapsing on the Marines. Oh. Decent tank shots at the same time. Going for a run by. Trying to hit that third. Alas, not breaking through. Spirit is holding. But likewise, Spirit can't really advance. If he ever pushes onto creep, he's going to be shut down. 100%. There's just too much Lingbane on the ground. Viper's now on the way with that Hive. No Hydrogen, I believe. Yeah, no Hydrogen, no Lurker Den. So it looks like we could eventually throw down that Ultra Cavern instead. So we're going to be saturating. Banshees not quite finding any damage here. The Queens are able to keep up. Reynor is working towards those Hive upgrades with Adrenal on the way. Not a bad amount of creep is being shut down. Lings, they do break in. Yeah, the wall has barely been broken. We can't get into the mineral line, but Spirit, he's in position. Does come back in time so far. Has been able to keep up. 4th base getting up and running. Soon to be a 5th. As Reynor does break through. With his Lingbane, going to be able to collapse on top of this army. At the same time, Spirit pushing out. But we're lying in wait. Reynor is in position. Yeah, Reynor getting on top of the tanks, just not enough support. Spirit, he's being overwhelmed. This is becoming too much. We've broken the base and getting on top of the production. Tanks are falling left and right. Spirit now turning back around, but it might just be too late. Oh, as we have some borrowed Bailings up. Bailings waiting for the workers to come back. Yeah, we're going in for the kill. Again, just very patient play here out of Reynor. Finally breaking out, breaks through the main army. GG gets called, and Reynor takes game number 1 in a pretty dominant fashion. GG. GG, well played. I'll be honest, like, I don't think at any point here in this game was Reynor under any trouble. He was able to establish his 4-base setup, able to take up into a hive. The push from Spirit was denying creep, but never more than that. Spirit, he was just never able to really threaten a mineral line, or, I mean, the Banshees, they killed like 3 drones. They killed a couple of workers, true, but not much more than that. Reynor was looking quite comfortable there. Again, part of that is also because of the map, right? With that map, you can settle into your 4-base setup quite quickly, especially with the gold bases. Reynor, he was able to really settle into his economy quite freely there, and yeah, was just in full control. Very impressive stuff. Spirit just unable to keep up with Reynor, but I'm sure that coming into the rest of these games, coming into some of these other smaller maps, we should be seeing a different dynamic. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that Spirit can bring it back. There we go. Okay. I'm hoping that we can bring it back here as we're diving into game number 2 on Crimson Court. Let's go. I'm just updating the score on the screen. Diving into game number 2. Reynor with a 1-0 lead. And again, just a really solid performance there from Reynor. Spirits, when it came to his side of things, the Banshee opener didn't do much damage. If you remember, he lost his Hellions early on as well, which that was another reason as to why Reynor had so much freedom in the early game leading into the first push. The first push was able to gain ground, but remember, we just weren't able to really threaten the gold base. Reynor, he got away with it. He got away with the gold, got away with more than that. And now we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Terran player, representing Team Na'Vi from the land of Poland. Can he bounce back in this series? It is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Italian Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Basilisk. Leading the series 1-0, it is Reynor. Here we go. So Reynor is going for a much more standard hatch gas pool. And again, this map has a little bit less to take advantage of. You know, there's no gold base or gold hybrid base to rush into. There is the rich vesting gas geyser in the center of the map, but that's more applicable to some of these other matchups. We'll see if Reynor tries to embrace it. It's difficult to, just because, you know, these pushes and siege lines can, this cliff face can be abused. Difficult to take advantage of. So we should be seeing more of a back and forth here. Should be. As Reynor's going for a hatch gas pull. Spirit going for his own Rax expand as well. We have seen Spirit be a little bit more experimental with his play, especially in his series against Laser. For those that maybe don't tune into the CranKy Ducklings, we cast a lot of Polish regional events, and Spirits and Laser, as you can imagine, they face off quite often in those events, and maybe it's only because it's a laser, but Spirit, he's willing to play like mech, willing to go open up and cheese and go like 2-port BC. Just a wild aggressive build from Spirit, which he does flex against the laser, but again, that could just be because they know each other quite well, and Spirit also knows that a laser is typically very greedy and can be abused at times or punished. So it could just be more metagaming between them. I don't know if Spirit is willing to spice things up against Reynor, of all players. Likewise, I should also emphasize that we have seen a Spirit bring Reynor down. It was, what, a year or two ago in the EU regionals where Spirit was able to take it to the late game. I specifically remember casting, well, quite casting, but watching Spirit versus Reynor on Neo Humanity. This was, what, like 2 map pools ago, where Spirit was able to out macro and outdo Reynor in the late game. And I do think that Spirit has some of the best late game TVZ in Europe. Definitely. It's only if he can get there, right? Can he get to the late game? Like the last game, even though we were on 4 bases, Spirit never maxed out. He was never able to max out. He was never able to get into a solid, tank ghost count or tech up even further. Reynor just snowballed out of control a little bit too quickly. Spirit wasn't able to get into his game. But I want to believe that when he can take it to Reynor. Meanwhile, it's going to be a third CC before starport. Once again, an economic opener, the same build as we saw in game 1, and we'll see if this leads into Banshee play again. We do see the tech lab on the racks, and this should be leading into an add-on swap. With the racks lifting, the starport landing, and going into Banshee play. It's a very safe way to open up, as Reynor is going for the center base. Ooh, that is a bit of a tell. Now, what the center base does is that, one, it does give you a launch pad for creep. Creep spreads very quickly across the map as we're already at the halfway mark, and this base allows you to spread it even further, even faster across the map. Likewise, we also have the Rich Festing Gas Geyser, as it is being prioritized by Reynor. With this base, you can rush into so much gas income here. And what do we do with this gas? Now, we have seen a lot of Roach-based all-ins with this base, which is what I would expect to be seeing in a ZvP. Against a Terran player, Roach-based all-ins are still very viable, true, but we could also use this to rush into Hydras, into a Lingbane Hydra-based army, into a faster Hive, into faster Lurkers. We'll see. See how we make use of this gas. We're only on 2 gas geysers, by the way. We just skip the gases at the natural. We don't need it. Creep already spreading halfway across the map. At sub 5 minutes. Lair is on the way. And Spirit is now establishing his third. Meanwhile, we did have the add-on swap. We're working towards those Banshees. First Banshee's moving out. Hellions, likewise, they hit the center of the map. But Queens are in position. And the Hellions are forced back. So far, so good for Reynor. Does zone away those Hellions. Rocks are being knocked down. Again, so important here for Reynor to open up both attack paths on the left and right hand side. This is the other crucial thing about this map, is that there are so many rocks and there's just so much terrain that can work against you at times if you don't think ahead of time. If you don't open up these attack paths. Likewise, yeah, we're mining through these mineral patches. Baleen Nest is on the way. Again, it was a lair first build, so a bit of a safer opener here. Reynor this time did not rush into upgrades. As a reminder, in game 1, Reynor did rush into his Evo chambers before his Baleen Nest or Baleen Speed. Oh, and now we see what we're using that gas for. I spoke earlier about how you can use the gas to go for a Roach all-in or to rush into Hive Tech and Hydra Tech. We'll do you one better. Oh, as we have the Spire on the way in the main. It's going to be for Mutas. That's a way to make use of the gas, true. So Reynor spicing things up here, taking all of his gases. Rushing into Spire Tech, rushing into Mutas. So far, has not been scouted. Once again, the Hellions are zoned away. Likewise, Banshees, they're trying to find some damage to do. Pick off a couple of workers. 2 drones go down. You catch 2 workers here at the natural. Spire is on the way. Still no vision from Spirit. Still has no idea. Back at home, building up. Saturating his third. Getting into his bioproduction as well, taking his gases. Vying for map control, but really just Reynor keeping Spirit busy. As we're even going for a Drop-A-Lord. Let's go! Overlord making its way into the main. This is a slow Drop-A-Lord. This is just slow. Like, there's no Overlord speed. So we're creeping our way into the main base. We're getting there. It's gonna take a while, but it'll happen. Unscouted, Mutas are on the way. Now, rushing into Mutas can leave you quite vulnerable as we have 0 upgrades. Remember, we skipped out on the Evo chambers to afford the Spire and the Mutas. So the Lingbane is going to be worse off as a result. But these Mutas, they can pop off. They can just wreak havoc in the mineral lines. SCV is already going down in the main. Spirit does race back home. Shuts down the Lings. couple of queens are getting picked off as well. And where are the muses headed? Do we try to go for the main? Sorry, do we try to go for the center of the map and go for the tanks? No, we're going for the mineral lines. 12 meters in total. And we do bust in. SCVs are going down as Reynor reveals himself. Spirit responding, but already 12 SCVs. 12 workers do fall. We do have some Marines lying in wait in the main because of the link drop earlier, thankfully. And the tanks are exposed. One tank goes down. We do get some nice volleys on the banelings, but we will clean this up as we shut down the second tank. Ooh. It cost us quite a bit of Ling Bane. But the mutas are still not done. They head towards the third base, going for the SCVs. Banelings, they do catch some of the transferring Marines. Marines are going down, tanks as well. Reynor just pulling Spirit apart here. But remember, these are 0-0 Lings. Will be shut down. So Reynor has to be careful not to throw away too much. He has to be very careful not to throw away too much Ling Bane. He did catch another tank, and with a low tank count, Spirit, he won't be pushing. That's the hope for Reynor. He hopes that if he's able to just pick up these tanks, we stop and we deny any kind of move out. And we can and must drop another Ling Bane army. Mutas headed for the third. Just keeping Spirit busy. Reynor joining up to 71, now joining up to 80. Fully saturating. Settling into his Ling Bane. Infestation bits on the way, that's going to be for Hive Tech. How many mutas do we have? We're on 15. 15 mutas so far. But Spirit is holding his own, as he's now on 4 bases. I'll say Spirit even has a comparable, if not better, economy than Reynor. And the quality of Spirit's army is going to be out of this world. With 2-2 on the horizon, soon to be 3-3 thereafter. These mutas need to get more done. They got, what, 12 workers, which was good, but we were hoping for more. Again, Spirit's economy is still on par with that of Reynor. Interesting gas guys are being taken. The center base as well. Planetary is done. Yeah, Spirit just turtling up and looking to max out. Now, this will give Reynor the time he needs. Like, he does need time here to drone up to 80, now almost 90. Maxing up Ling Bane. Hive is on the way for those Hive upgrades. Reynor is the first to max out. And it looks like he will catch some tanks. Very nice positioning. 1 tank goes down, 2 tanks go down. Reynor does back up. Again, keeping that tank count low. Keeping it manageable. Likewise, Spirit working on his ghost production. Making 2 tanks at a time. Muta's still sharking around. Oh, not quite getting the Marauder. Well, now trading a Marauder for a Muta. Not the best trade for Reynor. Being cheeky. Let's move it around. Looking for more pickups. Richardson gas guys are running out for Reynor. 2 2s on the way. I believe the Hive is done, but we have... Oh, as we catch those Banshees. But we have yet to invest into Adrenal. And there it is. Adrenal's on the way and the Ultra Cavern. Now, what I'm waiting for is Spirit maxing. Spirit, he's been building up for the past couple of minutes. And once he maxes out, he's going to push. And again, I do still favor Spirit's army when he does move out. As Reynor's army is so fragile. Especially in a head-on fight, mutas are not ideal. They're good at picking off stray units here and there. They're good at harassing. Like this, picking up another tank. And another. And another. 3 tanks go down. Very nice. We catch 3 tanks, we get more SCVs. Like, this is what mutas are good at. Just chipping away at the fringe army here, the fringe units of Spirit. As Reynor takes every base on the map. This mass expanding, mainarding over. Prioritizing saturation at these fringe bases. Still maxed out on Ling Bane. Making more mutas. Ultra upgrades are on the way. I imagine that once we bleed out mutas, we're going to be hard switching into Ultra. Here we go, Reynor now pushing in. He goes to the dive. Bailey's a rolling forward. Oh, so far good kiting here by Spirit, but we get into the mineral line and SCVs are going down. That's all we wanted. We get the planetary and we're going for the ghosts. Oh, so many ghosts go down. An insane trade here for Reynor. How many did we get? 9 ghosts. 10. 10 ghosts go down and we have broken the army. They've broken the back of Spirit. Again, the tank count a little bit too low. We clean up all the tanks just barely at the end. And Reynor instantly remaxes. He remaxes with Ling Bane. And Spirit, what does he have left? We're down to 2 tanks, a handful of Marines. Did we reset the ghost count? We did. 0 ghosts left as well. Spirit lost everything here at this base. And Reynor, he's pushing in once again. Catching another tank. Tanks falling left and right. Reynor just having his way with Spirit. I mean, his one chance in my mind was his max out. Was Spirit stabilizing on 5 bases, but that didn't happen. Barely not. Crash into the planetary. Planetary goes down. Muta's wreaking havoc at the natural. We're just pulling Spirit apart. Just cannot keep up. Not anymore. You see Spirit trying to reclaim this base, but again, there's just so much Ling Bane and we're not done. We're pushing into the natural. Marines going down, SCVs as well. Oof. As we connect to the mineral line, 44 SCVs fall. Muta still wreaking havoc in the main. GG gets called as Reynor, he starts up those ultras, and Reynor takes a 2-0 lead. GG. GG, well played. Again, this time I would say that we had more of a back and forth. I mean, Reynor still had map control, is the problem with it. He had full map control. He was able to expand wherever he so pleases. Spirit wasn't necessarily going for any kind of drop play. I mean, he couldn't against mutas. That's one of the advantages of mutas, is that we contain our opponents to their bases, really. And Spirit was building up, but barely didn't quite get there. Again, props to Reynor for catching so many tanks out of position, or just picking away and catching so many high value targets there. I feel like he got what, like 8 or so tanks in the lead up to that final fight at the 5th base, and that did kind of leave Spirit that much more vulnerable at that fresh expansion. Of course, Reynor was just able to roll on in, shut Spirit down. Was able to shut him down in the end, and with that, GG. Reynor is now 1 game away from advancing on into the playoffs, into the quarterfinals. The pressure is now on Spirit to fight back. Oh boy, he's up against the wall. 1 more loss and that's going to be it. That's going to be the series. And I mean, Spirit has done so well for himself so far in this tournament. Spirit to bring down Lambo, to bring down Estrella. Like, those are not easy opponents. For Spirit to bring down a Trigger as well, but here against Reynor, he is struggling. Again, Reynor has been on that career arc for the past couple of months. And it's showing us all that even though Reynor did struggle a little bit amongst the Koreans, here against Spirit, he is looking on fire. And now, we're getting into game number 3, potentially the final game of the series. I at least hope not. But spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have our red Zerg player representing Team Basilisk, leading the series 2-0, 1 game away from advancing on. It is Reynor. Oh my god. This is not a 14, he's going for a 12 pool. He's crazy. It's spawning in the top left-hand corner. We have the blue Terran player representing Team Na'Vi from the land of Poland. He has to fight back here and now as he's going for a proxy 2-rax. It is Spirit. Let's go. Okay, we have a proxy 2-rax out of Spirits. At the same time, we have Reynor going for a 12 pool back at home. Going to be rushing into these early lings. Did I say 2 racks? My apologies. That is a third SCV. Third SCV is moving out. It's going to be a proxy 3 racks at a Spirit Mass Marine against the early lings. Now, how does this play out? These things are going to be rushing across the map. They're going to be rushing across the map to deal some damage. At the same time, we're going to be banking on Marines here for Spirit, looking to push in and deny the natural and push in and even kill his opponent. I'm actually not too certain how this plays out. I think I want to favor... I was going to say I want to favor Spirit. These things hit first. The reality is that these lings, they're going to be moving out. They're going to hit first, and Spirit has nothing at home to defend. The problem here is the speed, right? Like, if we can get into this build, these Marines will snowball out of control, and they can break Reynor 100%. The problem is that the lings are already moving out. They're already halfway across the map. They're already knocking down that front door. And Spirit just has 1 Marine. Like, he doesn't have enough. This may just be game. This is not how I wanted this series to end, but here we go. Marine reveals itself. Lings, they bust into the main base, and as long as we don't get surrounded, these lings, they should clean this up. Yeah, they dive into the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. Reynor has to be very careful not to be surrounded. Bunkers are being thrown down. Marines are amassing. Reynor setting up in his main, throwing down spine crawlers again. Reynor, all he has to do is give up on the natural, protect the main. As there is 0 economy, 0 mining for Spirit. Bunker is cancelled. The hatchery finishes for Reynor. We do not cancel. We have 3 spine crawlers in production, and we're going to have to pull the boys. We have to hold. If these spine crawlers finish, I mean, Reynor, he defends. Depots are being shut down. Supply blocking. Spirit, what you see is what you get. Look at the units tab. 9 Marines. That's all we have. And 9 Marines is not enough to break 3 spine crawlers. But here come the boys. Spirit completely all in. The boys have been pulled. It's going to be a kill on this hatchery. Now, at least we can get Broodlings out of this. Broodlings can help as we dive on the army. Oh, we don't get much, though. Very nice body blocking from Spirit. Spine crawlers are up and running. We have 2 queens as well. Spines are repositioning. Protecting the mineral line. How many lings do we have? 23 lings. 1 queen. We have a clutch transfuse. Queen just survived. GG gets called. That's all we had. And Reynor will take the series 3-0. Making it through into the playoffs. GG, well played. Whew. GG, that was an unfortunate build order loss for Spirit. There aren't too many build order losses in StarCraft 2, but this was one of them where lings, they get across the map faster, they deny any kind of mining, they force an all-in. Reynor confirming that there were proxy racks, he could just throw down spine coolers, protect the main base, give up on the natural, and GG. Like, it's just a numbers game. Spirit just did not and could not have enough to break Reynor on his 1-base defense. I should also give praise here to Reynor for responding the way he did, throwing down the spine crawlers, 3 spine crawlers, and all those queens. Exactly what he needed to defend back at home. GG, well played. Reynor does take it, and will make it into the qualifiers, sorry, into the playoffs. My condolences to Spirit, as he's been eliminated from the tournament. GG. GG, well played. Again, my condolences to Spirit. Feels bad, man. As that's not exactly how we wanted the series to end. I was hoping for more of a back and forth. I was hoping that Spirit could pose a threat and take maps off of Reynor, but alas, was not meant to be. And with that, that wraps up the knockout brackets. We're done. That does wrap up all the matches here in the knockout bracket. Let's quickly go over them. From the top, we have Hero taking down Clem 3-0, making it into the playoffs. We have Bjorn taking down Hero Marine. We have Shin taking down Kior. Ooh, that's a big win, actually. Kiori took down Classic and went down to Shin. Shin makes it into the playoffs, and so does Reynor. Oh my, we have 4 Zergs, we have 3 Terrans, and the 1 Protoss Hope. Hero. And I believe Hero is mid-series versus Maru in a best of 7? Correct? Or a best of 5? Uh-oh. Gonna have to double check that. Yeah, I believe it's gonna be a best of 5. And they're in the ace match. They are in the ace match as we speak. For those that are curious, that is going to be wrapping up our knockout bracket matches. But I believe the main stream is going to be covering the quarterfinals. Mainstream is going to be covering the quarterfinals. I mean, they're already there. They're already covering the Maru series. And they're in that ace match. Oh boy. Sorry, I'm just catching up in the chat. Catching up, man. Catching up. Ooh, just catching up in. Yeah, I mean, the sun has risen. It's 7 a.m. here in Australia. 7 a.m. Sun has risen. I could co-stream. I could definitely co-stream Hero versus Maru, but I wouldn't mind getting some food. I would not mind getting some food as well. You know, that would also be nice. That would be nice, Papi. That would be nice. So if I do co-stream, I do have to set up some overlays, and I might restart the stream just so we can get rid of the delay. Like right now, we're playing with the delay here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the plan. I think we're gonna be ending the stream and restarting it, and co-streaming the rest of the quarterfinals. I'm actually looking forward to it. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we do go. It is very late here. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. The stream is going to go down and then back up with some new overlays and with the co-stream setup. So stick around if you're interested. If you want to basically viewing party it up. If you want to stick around for a viewing party of the main event, then you know we'll stick around. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of DreamHack. I hope you enjoy the rest of the main stream. And take care. Take care, everyone. Ciao, papi, ciao. Take care.